Hey, how you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time that you're watching this video.
Hey y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Built for This Kingdom Marriage. My name is RJ Smith, aka Coach RJ, and this is my lovely wife.
I'm Jazz.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, something's in my eye. Yes, today's topic is
How your mind
you
can deceive
how
you
your mind
about
can
your
deceive
future
you
spouse.
about your future spouse.
When we say that, we're meaning it's great to be married, want to be married, but how your mind can deceive you about your future spouse, or how your mind can play tricks on you about marriage in general. So what we mean by that is your heart posture. Where's your heart posture? When you say I want to be married, or you know you want to be married, what's your why? Why do you want to be married?
Yeah, like why? Like, is it for a good reason, or is it just for personal reasons, or
Not even good reason. What is
well,
your reason?
yeah,
Like
not even
right
good. Yeah, like what
now,
is your reason? Like,
when
what
you
is it
say
more personal, or is it more of you tired of, or you just
Mhm.
sick or tired of just being alone? You just want someone that cares, or you just want to just go ahead and just settle.
So when right now in this moment, you know you want to be married, you decide to be married. What is your why? Why? What is your reason? Um, and not saying that is not a good reason. This is just asking what is your honest feelings or reasoning why you want to be married. And we're asking that because depending what that is, what your reasoning is, could possibly be why it won't work. So that again is why we're saying in our topic how your mind could play tricks on you, or how you could be deceived about it. Because what is your why? Um, Prayerfully, it's not because you're getting older, because you want to have kids, you want to just settle down. My husband was saying, what's your why? Is it because you see other people like this and you like, oh,
And
I
you
want
like, oh, I
that?
want to be up in that, or
Yeah.
is it you watching stuff on TV and you
hmm
like, yeah, I want a relationship like such and such and such and such, and it's like,
And that's looking on, when you do that, that's looking on the outside.
yeah,
You
not
don't
really
know
looking in, yeah,
what's really happening on the inside. So I would say when you're seeing marriage and you see, or you say, oh, they are happy, they look happy, I want that. Do you know these people personally, or do you know what's happening inside? Because on social media, for sure, people make it look like it is. Even
right,
in real life, you may see people you marry or that are married, but you don't really know what's going on.
yeah,
They
what's
make it
going on
look like
behind
it's
closed
good,
doors or whatever,
make it sound like it's good, or look like it good, yeah, or sound like it's good, but is it really good?
yeah,
So all these people on social media that you're looking up to, and you feel like they have these perfect or pretty, the look, the feel. My question is, are those people adding value to you, or showing you how, or telling you how to become a great spouse, or how they are a great spouse, or what they're doing to be in their marriage and it's helping their marriage, what they're doing to have a healthy marriage? Are they lending that to you? Because if they're not, again, we don't want to go off of the look, what it looks like,
mm-hmm.
because being married is not a look. We know, we've been in this thing. It's not just a look. It's not just a feeling. Like, this is a whole, I mean, I ain't gonna say job, but it's work, and it's very rewarding. It's great. It's beautiful. I love it, but it's not a look.
Right.
Like, we are not here for the look
Yeah, we're
at
not here
all.
for the look. We're here for the growth. It's more spiritual. It's more, again, fulfilling each other characteristics. Some that that we growing at so far as I'm like, I always say, like, whenever we talk to our older son or whatever, my wife, she's the bad cop, I'm the good cop. So like something like that, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So just going off of that, have you dealt with,
Let's
you
talk
know,
about while you're
yeah,
waiting, or
while
while
you
you're on the
waiting, yeah,
way
while you're on
to
the way
marriage.
to being married, or
hmm
just getting that preparation. So I'm gonna ask my wife, babe, what was something that you like done to like get you prepared for me.
Okay, so let's just talk about our experience, how we prep then. If we're gonna do that. Okay.
Okay.
So I do I want to talk about that? Okay. No, we being honest. What I did was, first of all, when I marriage was okay, so I counted myself out for marriage after I had my son young. My first son, I had him young. So I was like, oh, I ain't getting married no more, blah, 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 all the things. Once I started my walk with Christ, that was when God placed the desire on me to be married because it just came out of nowhere. I must say that. It came out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, obviously, God, this is what you want for me. You want me to be married, or this is something you're saying I'm supposed to have, or it's supposed to be for me. So can you show me? Like, I need you to prep me. I literally, so how I prep was I asked God, I asked God to show me what I needed to do in order to prep or become a wife, because I remember literally saying, like, God, I'm a mess. Like, I'm not about to be somebody's wife. Like, I got all this stuff going on. I know I have anger in me. I got bitterness in me. I know I got where I still haven't forgiven people. Like, I'm still stuck on some things and all of that. So I started asking him to help me heal from those things. I was like, if my husband came, or I just had the thoughts of, like, if my husband passed me by, like, I'm definitely not ready to be married, because who I am now, oh no, like, he can't see this. I remember literally saying, like, God, he can't see this. He cannot see this about me. Like, what we gonna do to fix this? So I started a healing journey. So that's how I prepped. I started a healing journey on what I could do for me. What can I do to make myself be a better wife once my husband came? How can I better prepare for the person, this man that's supposed to be my husband? I also, um, I told God he was gonna have to pick my husband, because I was like, the what my pickings and what I've done in the past, like, I didn't trust myself. I'm gonna say that. I was like, I don't trust it. You know, I figured, you telling me I'm supposed to be married, so you would know. So God, I was saying this, like, if he's ugly, I'm gonna just have to deal with it. I remember crying one day, thinking, like, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I'm okay with that, because you know him more than I do. You know me more. Y'all, my relationship with God, your relationship with God should be like, if it was a friend, a father, a brother, like, it should be, have a conversation with him, talk to him, be in relationship with him. But I was literally preferred, but I was like, if he ugly, he gonna be beautiful on the inside. Like, that's how serious I was, because again, when I'm thinking back and how we just asked you guys what made you want to be married, or why did you want to be married, that is my honest truth. Like, I didn't think I was going to be married. When I was a little girl, yes, I wanted to be married. But like I said, once I had my son, I counted myself out, like, oh, it's a wrap on that. But then for God to place that in me, I was like, whoa, like, where is this coming from? Okay, and how can I prepare? Like, what do I need to do for this? Because I guess this is what I'm supposed to have. So so healing, and I remember also feeling like there wasn't men that wanted to marry someone with children, or it wasn't men like in my generation. I'm like, these men don't want to get married, God. And he told me, yes, there are men out there that want to be married, even if it's one. So I literally went off of there's one out there, and that's what had me going. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop there because I know I'm talking a lot. Okay, babe. So now you.
I mean,
How
you could
about
have
you?
kept going, but me, what I had to prepare for was because of I had to really like stop thinking that women was the same.
Mm. So you thought I was
Because
insane.
because it wasn't it was the women that
So
I had
you thought all
attract.
women were the same.
Yeah, it was,
You
and
had
then
that
I
straight.
realized that it was the women that I attract and the women that I went after, and also,
Mm-hmm.
uh, no, actually, it was more the women that I attract, because I, whenever I go after a certain woman, it's like I always like the relationship. It could go good or whatever. Then all of a sudden, I used to like just self sabotage it, like.
Mm,
because I used to think
that's a
that
good
women
one to
was the
listen.
same. Like women, all women, oh, why is she with me? Hold on, wait, this ain't right. Like,
Mm.
I used to think like that.
So
Like,
your mind was playing tricks on you. Look
so
at it. See,
so that's one thing I
dang.
know I had to get over because mostly like the women that I dated was either from work, which was
Mhm.
bad. Well, on certain occasions, some occasions, but it was women that
I
like
used to think
really,
that too, though.
yeah.
I would never date somebody I work with. Y'all,
Mm,
guess how we met?
that's how
But
we
go
met.
ahead.
So yeah, it was co-workers,
Mhm.
and then also it was like mostly women and my cousins and my
Oh, so a
homeboys.
setup.
And
You
my
was getting set up.
homeboys introduced me to, and I was just like,
Wow.
yeah.
You was a
And it was
setup
like,
guy.
yo, this girl would be good for you. And oh,
All right.
shut up, how she look?
Okay.
Like that's all. You know how it was.
You
Like
was
that's
the
how she
setup
looked.
guy.
So, but
All
yeah,
right.
like I really did have to get over that fact. Didn't
Mhm.
matter what ethnic background was they from. It's like I felt like that all women was the same, and not realizing that it was the women that I attract. Um,
Mhm.
Also, too, I had to really get up out my head to. This is like two parts. So I really had to get up out my head of thinking that number one, like, okay, ain't no woman go be with me because I didn't have nothing. Like I didn't have like no
Mm.
house, I ain't have no car, I didn't have pretty much materialistic things, but one thing I did have was a dream. I have a
Mhm.
goal and I have a drive, and
You better. You better tell them.
I didn't consider that,
You ain't.
because of, again, the women that attracted me.
And
And
that's I said or I'm sorry to cut you off, but I said like that because that was something we dealt with early in the beginning with us. You still had was carrying that on.
yeah, I was still
That's
carrying that on
that's
when
interesting.
we got married, and
No,
I
when
mean,
we
not
started
no, when we
dating.
started
Hmm.
dating, and
Wow, that's why I was
yeah,
like,
and
okay.
then also too, just it was a lot of things that I didn't know and like understand. Like I always get advice about women from women, like my
Okay.
mom, my aunt, and stuff like that. Yet and still,
And now
it
me.
was still it was still more it was still more that I need to know, not just because of like trying to run games and manipulate them and nothing like that. It was from just why, because I was still hurting at the time. I was like, why did she do this?
Hmm.
Why did this happen? So when I got with my wife now, and we had like a little conversation about like little stuff about the past, or sometimes I was afraid to talk about it because of like that it hurt, like it really hurt. But she filled in that gray area of getting me to understand why this happened. And then also she filled in that gray area of like, no, she was wrong. Like, no, she should never did. I
Yeah,
can't
saw it
believe
for
you
what it
sat up
was.
here, and
Hmm.
it like it wasn't like it was like she took my side, and then at the same time she took that woman's side to get me to understand why that happened.
So perspective wise,
So
so
perspective wise, so she got me more to understand. So that was something.
and that's what God was doing
Yeah,
before
and
I
that's
came
what God was
along.
doing.
Before
And
I came.
yeah, before my wife had came along, and we met, got
Hmm.
together. And then also too, speaking about God, like I used to always have conversations with God, like on a daily and nightly
I did
basis. Like, and I
too,
mean, like
y'all.
I mean, when I stayed in Arizona and I stayed with my aunt and my uncle, I used to walk to work, and as I was walking to work, if I just not listen to my music, and I just be
Hmm.
talking to God. Like I just talking to him, just like how I'm talking to you. And then
Yeah.
at night when I'm walking home, whatever, I'll talk to God at home. And then like when stuff get to me and frustrate me, and just like and to where like I feel like I'm a target in the household, I used to just walk outside and just talk. Like I'll go jog around the whole neighborhood, and I just talked to God as I was doing it. And once I got done jogging, I'm still talking to him. I'm still sitting there. I'm talking to him. So
So from a just or an eggshell, is it an eggshell or nutshell?
in a in
Because
a
I'm always
nutshell,
messing up some
yeah, in a
saying.
nutshell,
I said an eggshell.
I was pretty much just
Oh
just
shoot!
I
No.
was I was dealing I was preparing myself to get ready through not thinking that all women was the same. Also, not thinking that I need to have this and that, you know, based off the women that I attract, and then also having to open up about my hurt, my pain,
Mm-hmm.
not only to God but to the woman that I was going to be with. Because also, just to add on, this is a FYI, because in my past, when I used to open up to a woman and tell them about something that really like got to me, hurt me, or
Mm-hmm.
bothered me, they used to use that against me. And they
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, that really burned my spirits down. So that was like, being afraid of that. So when I did, it took me a while to open up. So when I did open up, you know, fully, I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And
So
even he's speaking like even in our marriage, it still took time. And with me, certain things it took time. So in a nutshell, what we're saying is this along the same lines. We ask God to prepare us. Like I know I need to heal from some things. Like open my eyes
hmm
up for this. Can you give me some wisdom in this, some knowledge in this, understanding in this? So we did the same thing. Was we were serious about it. Was like, okay, how can I prep? How can I be prepared enough? Not saying perfect because we're not perfect. And once we start dating, and even when we got married, we had a lot more healing to do, and we're still healing from things. But we're saying beforehand, like on the road to, these are just things that look out for, pay attention to. Don't be so focused on the destination, which is the marriage, or I'm going to be married, that the journey or and what we can do to prepare, we don't go through that, or we forget about that part. We're not
yeah,
thinking about that. So are we healing while waiting so that we don't self-sabotage, like you were saying? um what is our heart posture behind being married right now? Why do we want to be married? So I think that's it in a nutshell. I keep
yeah,
saying in
that
a
is
nutshell
it.
now that I
So
got it right.
um, yeah. So if you guys like what you hear, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Um, Subscribe, share it, and I hope and pray help you guys get to moving forward on what is needed to be done to prepare yourself for your future spouse, which is put it in God's hand and always keep God first, and He will lead you through the
Ask
rest.
him to lead you, guide you. Yeah.
So again, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to our next video. Until then, God bless you and peace.